We won with old. We won with highly educated. We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
One of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately.
The poorly educated.
Who did you vote for president?
Mr. Trump.
Right?
Trump.
Mr. Trump.
If the election were today, Frank, would you vote for Donald Trump?
No way. Couldn't happen. No.
You voted for President Trump. So now, in this moment, you say you're in a free fall. What is your message to him?
So I'm off the Trump train. Where I'm going for now is I got to protect my business.
I wanted to start off by saying I did vote for Donald Trump.
Okay.
We are possibly going to lose our farm if NRCS doesn't hold up their contract with us on the EQIP program.
Okay.
So the reason that they're not able to hold up the contract is our EQIP program, which is cost sharing on fences, waters, a well, and some seedings, was funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. Because of the executive orders, there's a pause or a freeze on the funding through the Inflation Reduction Act, and they're not able to pay out on the stuff that we completed or anything going forward.
I wanted to highlight one of the people who'd been unjustly fired. Smitty has been with the IRS Taxpayer Advocacy Service, so he works with taxpayers to help them make sure they're paying the correct amount, they're not paying too much.
I love doing that job. I loved helping people out. And being told that you can't go to work anymore because you haven't been there for a year is just kind of horrible, The Taxpayer Advocate Service is already undermanned as it is. And, when the case advocates are averaging over 120 cases per person and you're letting everybody go, how does that help the taxpayer?
Did you support President Trump in the last election?
Honestly, yeah, I did. I thought, he would be someone that would, because he talked a lot about taking care of the military, taking care of the veterans, taking care of the people that put him in office, and it just hasn't happened. So if I could go back in time, I would have voted for, Vice President Harris in a heartbeat.
Do not come.
Well, Donald Trump is now the President of the United States of America, along with his Vice President, J.D. Vance. Well, what does this mean for the military? What does this mean for service members? I will tell you this. There has never been a time, more so than now, where I have been proud to serve this country. Been in the United States Marine Corps for 14 years, and throughout that time I have served under 3 presidents, and I am very optimistic about all the opportunities that are going to come, not only to service members but also to Americans as a whole.
They're slashing staff, crushing unions, and selling out the VA for what? So billionaires can make more money while veterans sit on wait list, or worse, they'll get no treatment. Our president was asleep while Musk was at the wheel. Do you know what happens to a serviceman when they fall asleep when they're on duty? Veterans don't trust him. He's not one of us.
You're lying. I'm a veteran. You don't give a fuck about me. You're taking about.
In less than 2 months, this administration has proved itself to be the most anti-veteran administration ever.
What's going on is just not right on so many levels.
Yeah, you called it the most anti-veterans administration in history.
It is. I mean, there's almost 6,000 veterans that are terminated. It was just reported today that 80,000
Yes.
VA employees are going to be terminated. They have the most amount of veterans. It shows you that the billionaires are the ones who matter, and they're going to step on anybody to get them what they want. So it's unfortunate, but a lot of people are going to suffer.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump, we love you.
A few moments later.
Beyond betrayed. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that it was not going to touch the documented people.
Honestly, the loudest message I've heard here is, I only care because it affects me. No one else matters but me. No one else's rights matter but mine. Because let's be serious, Donald Trump got elected into office by people. Not by magic, not by error, but by people. So this is honestly wild to me to look into these large crowds of people yelling and screaming and throwing up signs in red states. Y'all literally voted for this man. Voting for Donald Trump meant voting for everything he stood for. He told you that he was selecting Elon Musk to head Doge. Elon told you he was slashing the government. So why are y'all shocked? I'm convinced that MAGA Republicans lack brain cells and or education, because to see the same people who voted for him now yelling about all of this stuff is absolutely insane. And let's be clear about one thing. MAGA is still MAGA. It doesn't matter that they're protesting for things that seem right. What's in their hearts is hate. Hate for diversity, hate for equity, hate for equality, hate for inclusion, hate for the LGBTQ plus community, women's rights, hate for non-Christians, even though they're the farthest thing from Christ themselves, and the list just goes on and on. So we don't care about what's happening in Nebraska. Why? Because Nebraska has shown us that they don't give a crap about us. So maybe this can be a wake-up call to MAGA people everywhere. You don't get to have your rights but take rights from other people. That's exactly what's wrong with your side of America. A president is supposed to be for the people, all people. And once you realize that everyone has the right to peacefully exist in this country, and you need to mind your own business and stop living to take down any and everything involving other people, you're just going to continue to FAFO. And meanwhile, the 92% will just be watching from the background, because one thing is for certain, we know how to thrive in injustices, because the sad, sad truth is, we've always had to.